for other speakers or things that you either experience joyfully or sometimes a little bit sorrowfully and sometimes perhaps a little bit indifferently. This kind of feedback. You notice that we don't actually ask you for feedback for every session of that. Today is an interesting day. When we were young in school, finding this sort of vintage, we always had all kinds of funny pranks and jokes and all of that. But I've been thinking a lot, about fools, partly because of my study of Shakespeare. And perhaps one of the most famous fools in Shakespeare is the fool in King Lear, probably the greatest tragedy that Shakespeare ever wrote. One of the things that fools do very often is to just, make us look at ourselves from a different angle. And usually that particular angle is not very flattering. But the other thing that they do in the process of this is to heal us in many, many ways, because one of the things that fools are noted the world over is they provide a bit of mirth, a bit of humor, a bit of laughter and joy. And this semester we've had a couple of talks that sort of tended towards similar kinds of situations and platforms, healing, being happy, being joyful. So I'm very, very happy to say that today, Sebastian, our guest speaker, is going to be concluding this, lunchtime series for this semester by talking about how we can achieve a different kind of fulfillment in life by mastering the five senses. All right, and these five senses, I think, I'm not sure, I haven't discussed this in length or in depth with him, but I assume these five senses are going to be probably similar to the taste, smell, touch, and all that, but they may also be expanded upon a different kind of thinking. So, on our behalf, let's welcome our speaker.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for your time that you're taking to come down and just spend this time to just think a little bit. When Gopal introduced me just now, he was talking about the fool in King Lear, and I hope, I don't mean that he was taking me to be a fool, but the point is really about I hope to be the fool today, so that if I'm able to give you a little insight to the expansion of what we call the five senses. Many a time when we go through life, we just go through one day at a time. How many of us, just as a show of hands, right? How many of you, and I, including me, have made New Year resolutions? Okay? Yeah, can I have a show of hands? It cannot be, right? That only a few of us made New Year resolutions? Alright. Now, I think for some of you, you may have had that, okay, made some resolutions, but how many of us really saw this thing all the way to the end? Yeah?
I do monthly resolutions.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful, excellent. Then during the process of this talk, please do put in your insights, because I think you are a lot further away, further afield, or further, away ahead compared to the rest of us, and I include myself in the rest of the gang, and I'm struggling with this too every day. Okay, so without further ado, let me just go in straight away to what we are talking about today. But before we go into the talk, I want to do a little experiment. Okay, the experiment is this: you're having lunch, which is all very good. I want you to get in touch with your senses right now. Many a time, you see, we are all visual creatures, right? We are creatures of, of what we see. You don't believe me, right? Don't believe me? Okay, that's fine. Don't believe me. It's all right. Okay. So fingers in the air. Fingers in the air. Yeah, come on, everybody. Okay, fingers in the air. Fingers in the air. On your forehead, quickly on your forehead, on your nose, on your nose, on your nose, on your chin, Go for it. Yeah, there you go. So you see what I mean? Okay? So you can see that many of us are visual, or sometimes we are also auditory. That means we are very listening, which is all right. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the way we are. But in reality, we actually have got five senses. And so today, we're going to expand that five senses as what Kapal was talking about just now. We're going to expand it a little bit, but before we do that, let's do a little experiment first, okay? I want you to first get in touch with your feelings, right? So basically, I would like to ask you, do not talk Do not discuss this with the people next to you. Okay, just think about it for yourself for a while. Get in touch with your feelings. How do you feel? How do you really feel about strawberries? Okay, just examine your feelings first. How do you feel about strawberries? Nice, red, juicy strawberries. Yeah. Just dwell on that for a while. How do you feel about chocolates? Just the feeling. Okay? Just the feeling of chocolate. Dark chocolate. Okay? That's it. Done? Good. Now we move. So we got something like that. Okay? What do you see? Don't discuss this. Just yourself, you know. Nice chocolate coated strawberries. Beautiful. Isn't that going to look nice? Yeah? Wonderful. That kind of like, you know, in touch with your feelings now. You're now in touch with your sight. Something you're able to see. Okay? Good? Very good, huh? Okay. I'm going to move a little bit. Now, I would like you to turn to the person or the people next to you and just have a short discussion about what you felt and what you just saw. Okay, on the chocolate covered strawberries. That's it. Nothing else, huh? Chocolate covered strawberries. Okay, alright. I can see this kind of like, okay, these are deep discussions here. I can see, you know what I mean? Wow, I heard of some experiences too, when it was, you know, when I had the best one and whatever, you know, all of those things, right? Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now it's where it gets a little tricky. Now it gets a little tricky. Okay, we are still part of this experiment. Okay, now it gets a little tricky. We're going to move to this, which is smell. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass something around. Okay, now I'm going to pass one. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Well, don't guess anything. And don't touch anything. So everybody's got. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So, my dear friends, you will notice that at the end of your tables, you've got some toothpicks, but you also got some forks. So these are all very good. Come on, you got some toothpicks at the corner of each table, right? There's some toothpicks. Come on, don't worry. I have some too. Okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to poke a couple of holes, right? Just small holes around it. Okay? Don't do anything else. Do not peek inside. Okay? Okay? Just poke a couple of holes. Yeah? And go ahead, poke a couple of holes. Okay? Yeah? And now I want you to just take a whiff. Okay? Just take a whiff of it. Okay? And okay, alright. Okay. You see some salivating already. It's sounding solid inside, yeah. Okay. So this is the tricky part, right? Just smell it. Just take a whiff and you know, and just think back to the memories that you had. You know what I mean? Hopefully good memories, huh? Okay, to the time when you had anything, whatever, you know, whatever makes you feel good, right? So now, you okay with that? Okay, now I'm going to move on. Now, I want you to open up the foil and see what you've got. Okay, this is nice because you just had lunch, so that's your dessert. Okay. Sorry? I got some extra later. Alright, so the point, my dear friends, is that you notice that when we involve our senses, and when our senses come together, the beautiful sense of taste where everything comes together, and think about the explosion of taste in your mouth. You know, where there's a celebration of all of what you felt, what you saw, what you heard from people around you, especially all the good things they were saying. It's like, yeah, I had this strawberry, and I love strawberries, or I love chocolates, and you know, I had all these things. And you heard all that, and then, of course, when you had that whiff of that chocolate, dark chocolate, you know, coming out. Finally, when all of those things comes together, what a beautiful experience. And that, my dear friends, is exactly what, when we involve the five senses and expand it to other areas of our life, then you'll find that life is actually very, very beautiful. So what we decided to do was a few years ago, a few of us got together and we started talking about this, using the senses as a metaphor for life. If the senses were given to us, it was given to us by nature, we evolved, whatever. But the thing is, here we are, we have got this thing which is so natural. So if you can then use the same ideology and put that in life, you'll find that many things in life makes a lot of sense. Yeah? And no pun intended there. So why the senses? All our knowledge begins with the senses. It then proceeds to understanding and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than learning. Nothing higher than reason. So that's the reason why we decided to put this and expand it and use it as a metaphor. Okay, so let me begin. Let me share with you a framework. This is the framework for the 5 senses. A group of us are actually in the process of writing a book on this. Yeah, so we are expanding this, and this is a precursor. It's a little talk. At the end of this short presentation, we have got an audit that we need to. You may want to do this for yourself, but before I give you the audit, I just want to run through the framework so it helps you to understand where we are coming from and how does it affect you. Yeah. So we always start out with feeling. Notice when we started the experiment, I talked to you about your feeling. Examine your feeling about a strawberry. It always talks about feeling. Why? Because it is our basic sense. This when our first cells were developed in the body, when you and I were in our mother's womb, okay, the first cells actually ended up becoming our spinal cord and our basic brain, and stuff like that. So that was the basic thing. Then it moves on to sight, because that's the next thing it has developed. And it's beautiful, and then it's hearing, then it's smell, and finally it's taste. See? So what we did was then to segment it, because we felt that there are higher order senses and lower order senses, and the basic sense is always what we call a foundational sense. Because without this, everything else you can't have. If you don't have the sense of feeling, can you imagine a person who lost his sense of feeling? I had a friend of mine, which is incredible, because he went through a glass door when he was 17 years old. I kid you not, a sliding door, and he just ran through the sliding door. Yeah, and he had about 107 stitches in his body. Yeah, it was cut up real bad, especially his legs, because his legs went first. Yeah, and there are parts of his body right now that he's absolutely got no sensation at all. So even if he's bleeding, he won't know until he sees it. So and then that's a sad thing to lose, a sense of feeling. So and then after that we felt that okay, the first 2 senses, which is feel and sight, then it goes on to what we call the intermediary sense, because this sense of hearing is a little bit more complex in the way it's developed, because our ear, for example, just to give you an idea, I don't want to go into the scientific part, okay, because that's another lecture altogether, right? So, but the ear is not just for hearing; it's also for balance. So that's the tricky thing about it. Okay, so finally you got the advanced sense of smell and taste. Yeah. Okay. Which is, as you all can see, is basically a little bit more complicated, and I'll go through that a little bit later on as we move down. So this is the first thing we want to talk about. We want to talk about feelings. How do we get in touch with that? How does it mean? What's a metaphor, right? So, we have come across people, right, which is very strange. In my 25, almost 30 years in the area of adult education, consulting, training, organizational development, and I've come across people who they may have risen really high up in organization, but really at the end of the day don't know who they are, which is very, very sad. Which is very, very sad, because it's like I don't know who I am or what I really stand for. And this guy was very interesting, and and he joined this particular organization. And he went there because of the money, because it promised him a lot of stuff and good life and all that. And then he went in there, and he realized that after 3 months, 6 months in, and he said every day he's dying because he said I hate going to work. I asked him why, and he told me very simply because he said, this is not who I am. So I said, why didn't you answer that question or ask yourself that question before you went in? He said, because you know what, nobody ever asked me that. What am I? What do I stand for? And there are many people who are like that, So what am I? Who am I? What am I about? What are things that are really important to me? And here we are talking about at a very personal level, but it can also happen at a team level. What is this team about? What is this organization about? Many of us don't ask that, right? We just join because it sounds good. And then after a while, you're just like, this is not me. So that's why we always need to start off with who am I? Getting in touch with my feelings. So what we do, right now, the ones who are making lots of money, I'm from the healthcare industry anyway, are all the psychologists, right? Because a lot of people need to go and unload this thing and find themselves, So the other guys who are making a lot of money are those guys who are running resorts, you know what I mean? Because people need to park under a tree and find themselves. Then you also have a lot of people who run away. I've got this bunch of people who every few months need to take a break. They need to take a break. I need to take a break and I'm going to Thailand. Okay? I'm going to Bangkok. Why? Because I need to shop, which is all fine. So why? Because I need to take a break. So why? Because I've been working very hard. Yeah, what are you celebrating for? No, I just need to take a break. So every day it just becomes very meaningless. It's just like one day after another. So sometimes it is good to just stand back and take stock of, hey, why are we here? What are we about? What is important to us?